Good morning, students. We are discussing applications of biotechnology in agriculture. We are discussing applications of biotechnology in agriculture, right? With advent, with advent of biotechnology, with advent of biotechnology, especially genetic engineering, especially what? Genetic engineering, especially genetic engineering, right? See the statement, with advent of biotechnology, especially genetic engineering, a new ray of hope, a new ray of hope for increase in food production, for increase in food production, for increase in food production, and reduce in usage of chemical fertilizers, and pesticides. Chemical fertilizers and pesticides has been right envisaged, which might leads to another type of revolution, called gene revolution, called as what, sir? Gene revolution. See this statement, with advent of biotechnology, right? With the advent of what? Biotechnology, especially genetic engineering, a new ray of hope for what, sir? For increase in food production and reduce in usage of what? Chemical fertilizers and pesticides has been envisaged, which might leads to another type of revolution called as what, sir? Gene revolution. Is it green revolution or gene revolution? Gene revolution. Is it okay? Right. With the help of genetic engineering, with the help of what? With the help of genetic engineering, with the help of genetic engineering, it is possible to break, what's a natural species barrier, possible to break through what's a natural species barrier, and systematically, systematically transfer what? Genes between two species, which is not possible in nature, See this statement, sir. Here I am taking two plants. One is a tomato plant, and second one is a potato plant. Sir, what is the scientific name of tomato? Lycopersicon esculentum. What is Lycopersicon esculentum? Sir, what is the scientific name of potato? Solanum tuberosum. Sir, esculentum. species, right? Sir, potato, Solanum tuberosum species, right? Therefore, these two belongs to two different species. These two belongs to two different species. Yes or no? In nature, is it possible? In nature, I am speaking about in nature. In nature, is it possible to transfer a gene from tomato to potato or potato to tomato? No. Therefore, in nature, there exists a species barrier. What is the meaning of species barrier? No transfer of genes between two different species in nature. Therefore, in nature, there is no possibility, right, to transfer genes from one species to another species. But this barrier can be broken. This barrier can be broken through what's our genetic engineering process. It means by genetic engineering process, we can transfer the genes from one species to another species. Therefore, what is possible to break here, sir? It is possible to break a species barrier that exists in nature. Is this statement okay? Clear? Therefore, in nature, there is no chance to transfer genes from one species to another species. But through genetic engineering process, right, there is a possibility to transfer genes from one species to another species. Therefore, the genetic engineering process, right, it has broken the natural species barrier, and systematically what is transferred? Genes are transferred between two species. Is this transfer between two species? Is this transfer of gene between two species is possible in nature? Not possible in nature. Therefore, which is not possible in nature? Transfer of genes between two different species. That can be done by genetic engineering process. Is this statement clear? Okay, right? Now, listen this statement. Plants, animals, bacteria, fungi, right? Plants, animals, bacteria, fungi, whose genes are altered by manipulation. Is it okay? Plants, animals, bacteria, fungi whose genes are altered, changed by what's a manipulation, called as, what are such plants, animals, bacteria and fungi whose genes are altered by manipulation, called as genetically modified. What? Genetically modified organisms. What they are called as? Genetically modified organisms. Genetically modified organisms. Is it okay? Sir, take a plant. The genes of that plant were altered by manipulations, by genetic engineering process. Then we are calling that plant as what's a genetically modified organism. We can call that plant even as genetically modified crop, GMC, genetically modified crop. Is it okay? Sir, take animals. Sir, their genes are altered by manipulation, by genetic engineering process. Then that animal becomes what's are genetically modified organisms. Is this statement okay? Right? Therefore, plants, animals, bacteria, fungi whose genes are altered by manipulation, called as what's are genetically modified organisms. Sir, plants, animals, these two are prokaryotic or eukaryotic? These two are eukaryotic, right? Whereas bacteria, it is prokaryotic. It's prokaryotic. Whereas fungi, it is eukaryotic. Fungi is eukaryotic. It's eukaryotic. Is it okay? Sir, we can alter the genes of plants, animals, bacteria and fungi, but not virus. We can alter the genes of plants, animals, bacteria and fungi, but not virus, but not what's a virus. Is this statement okay? Right? Therefore, genetically modified organism, it may be plant, animal, bacteria or a fungi, but not virus. Is it okay? Right? Now listen this statement. Take genetically modified crops. What's that? Genetically modified crops. Sir, genetically modified crops, they are having several advantages. Useful in several ways. Genetically modified crops, GMC, are useful in several ways. They are useful in several ways. Sir, we are saying that they are useful in several ways. Sir, in what ways these genetically modified crops are useful, sir? Number one, genetically modified crops are, they are high yielding. They are high yielding varieties. High yielding varieties. Number two, they are disease resistant varieties. What they are, sir? They are disease resistant varieties. Disease resistant varieties. Number three, sir, they are resistant to abiotic stress. Resistant to what, sir? Abiotic stress. Resistant to abiotic stress, such as cold, drought, salt, heat. Sir, this cold, drought, salt, heat, all these are biotic or abiotic? They are abiotic. Is it okay? Genetically modified crops, they are resistant to abiotic stress such as cold, drought, salt and what, sir? Heat. Is it okay? Right. Next, number 4. Sir, genetically modified crops, they are pest resistant. Genetically modified crops are what, sir? They are pest resistant. Listen this statement. Sir, pest resistant. It means the plant can resist the pest. If plant resists the pest, automatically the usage of pesticides can be reduced. Yes or no? Therefore, pest resistant, which reduces what, sir? Which reduces the usage of pesticides. Which reduces the usage of what, sir? Pesticides. Right? Best example is BT cotton. What is the best example? BT cotton. What does it mean, sir? BT cotton plant, it is pest resistant. So if we use BT cotton, right, it reduces the usage of what, sir? Pesticides. Reduces the usage of pesticides. Is it okay? Right. Next, number 5. Post-harvest loss is less. Post-harvest loss is less. What does it mean, sir? After harvesting the crop, means after cutting the crop from the field. After harvesting the crop, the damage in the crop is less. Because post means after. After what? Harvest. What is less? Loss is less. Therefore, post-harvest loss is less. Is this statement okay? Right? Go for number 6. Enhanced nutritional value in the food. What is enhanced nutritional value? Enhanced nutritional value in food. Enhanced nutritional value in what, sir? Food. It means increased nutritional value in the food. Increased nutritional value in the food. For example, you take a golden rice. What is, sir? Golden rice. Sir, this golden rice, it is rich in vitamin A. Is this statement okay? Right. Therefore, in case of golden rice, what is present? Vitamin A is present. Therefore, golden rice rich in vitamin A. Is it okay? Right. Therefore, enhanced nutritional value in food. Best example is golden rice, which is rich in vitamin A. Is it okay? Right. Next, number 7. Sir, we are discussing what, sir? Genetically modified crops, they are useful in several ways. In what ways they are useful, we are discussing. Yes or no? Right. Sir, genetically modified crops, they have increased mineral utilizing efficiency. What they are having? Increased mineral utilizing efficiency. Genetically modified crops have what? Increased mineral utilizing efficiency. Is it okay? Right. Therefore, increased mineral utilizing efficiency for which crops, sir? Genetically modified crops. Sir, if genetically modified crops, they are having increased mineral utilizing efficiency, what is the use, sir? What is the use means minerals are not exhausted. Minerals are not exhausted in early stages. What are not exhausted in earlier stages? Minerals are not exhausted in earlier stages. So, minerals not exhausted in early. Is this statement okay? It means soil remains fertile for more number of days. Soil remains fertile for more number of days. Is this statement okay? Right? For example, right, take a plant. Take a normal plant. Okay. Sir, this normal plant, it is growing in a soil. This is our assumption. This is our assumption, right? Sir, a plant, a normal plant is growing in a soil with nitrogen of 10 grams. having how much amount of nitrogen, sir? 10 grams of nitrogen. Having 10 grams of nitrogen. Is it okay? Right. Now listen here. What normal plant is doing means it is absorbing 2 grams nitrogen per day. Absorbing how much amount of nitrogen per day? It is absorbs 2 grams of nitrogen per day. Now you tell me, sir, on first day the normal plant has absorbed 2 grams of nitrogen, sir, but the plant utilized only 1 gram of nitrogen, sir. Still plant is having how much amount of nitrogen? Still 1 gram of nitrogen is there in the plant. But what the plant does means, on the next day it is going to absorb 2 more grams of nitrogen from the soil, but utilizes only 1 gram of nitrogen. Again on the next day it is going to absorb 2 grams of nitrogen from the soil. Like this, right, nitrogen is exhausted in the soil after how many days? Every day absorbing 2 grams of nitrogen. Soil is having 10 grams of nitrogen. Therefore, nitrogen gets exhausted in this case after how many days, sir? 5 days. Is this statement okay? Right. Now you take a genetically modified crop. Genetically modified crop. What this genetically modified crop is doing means, no doubt, absorbs absorbs 2 grams of nitrogen per day. Absorbed how much, sir? 2 grams of nitrogen per day. Is it okay? But on first day it utilized 1 gram of nitrogen. Still it is having how much amount of nitrogen in it? Still it is having how much amount of nitrogen in it? 1 gram of nitrogen. After utilizing that 1 gram of nitrogen the next day, then only it absorbs another 2 grams of nitrogen from the soil. It means how much nitrogen it has absorbed. Once that nitrogen was completely utilized, then only it is absorbing nitrogen again from the soil. Is this statement okay? Sir, on first day it has absorbed 2 grams of nitrogen, but on first day it utilized only 1 gram of nitrogen. Still inside the plant, how much nitrogen left? 1 gram of nitrogen. First it utilizes that 1 gram of nitrogen, then only it absorbs 2 more grams of nitrogen again from the soil. In this case, right, the nitrogen present in the soil is exhausted after how many days, sir? After 10 days. Yes or no? It means, right, if genetically modified crops, right, if genetically modified crops shows increased mineral utilizing efficiency, right, then automatically, right, minerals in the soil, are they exhausted earlier? No, they are not exhausted earlier. It means soil remains fertile for long period of time. Soil remains fertile for long period of time. Is this statement okay, clear, right? Now listen this statement. Sir, genetically modified right, crops, what we are discussing, genetically modified crops, they are created by what? Genetic engineering process, right? Sir, genetic engineering, what, sir? Genetic engineering also creates, genetic engineering also creates what, sir? Tyler plants, which acts as alternative resources, which acts as alternative resources for industries. Alternative resources for industries in the form of what? In the form of starch, fuel, pharma. See this statement, sir. By genetic engineering process, what are developed? Plants are developed, sir. We are calling these plants as what, sir? Tyler plants. Sir, what a Tyler does? is going to cut the cloth and is going to stitch it. Similarly, by genetic engineering process, the desired gene is isolated by cutting the DNA by using restriction endonuclease enzymes, yes or no? Therefore, cutting. And then what we are doing? That desired gene is inserted, joined, ligated, stitching to the cloning vector. Therefore, cutting and stitching. So, such plants are called as what, sir? Thyler plants. Sir, these Thyler plants, they are acting as what, sir? Alternative resources. It means they are providing raw materials for what? Industries. Such as what, sir? Starch, fuel, and what more, sir? Pharma. Is these statements okay? Clear? This is concerned to which plants, sir? Thyler plants. Okay? Right? BT cotton. What is it? BT cotton, right? What is the meaning of a BT cotton, sir? Cotton plant. Which plant? Cotton plant with a BT gene. Cotton plant with what, sir? BT gene. Therefore, if a cotton plant contains BT gene, then we are calling that cotton as what, sir? BT cotton. BT cotton. Now, see this statement carefully. Sir, is this BT cotton plant is having BT bacteria? No. It is having BT gene but not BT bacteria. Therefore, BT cotton plant is with BT gene. Is with what, sir? BT gene, but not with BT bacteria. But not with what, sir? BT bacteria. Now listen this statement. Sir, in BT cotton plant, in what, sir? BT cotton, this BT stands for what, sir? BT stands for Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. BT stands for what, sir? Bacillus thuringiensis. BT stands for Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. Is this statement okay? Clear? Does it mean that this BT cotton plant contains bacteria? No. It contains BT gene, that is Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria gene, right, in cotton plant. Is it okay? Right? Sir, this BT cotton, it is a transgenic plant. BT cotton is which plant, sir? BT cotton, it is a transgenic plant. It is a transgenic plant. Sir, what is the meaning of a transgenic plant, sir? Transgenic plant means nothing but a plant with desirable characters. Plant with desirable characters. Sir, how this plant got that desirable character, sir? By introducing a desirable gene into this plant. How we can introduce a desirable gene into this plant, sir? By gene transfer methods. Therefore, by gene transfer methods, a desirable gene was inserted into this plant, by which the plant got desirable characters. That plant with desirable characters produced by gene transfer methods called as which plant, sir? Transgenic plant, sir. This BT cotton is a transgenic plant. BT cotton is which plant, sir? Transgenic plant. Is this statement okay? Right? Now, how this BT cotton plant is produced, sir? Now, first see these statements. Sir, what is the bacteria name? Bacillus thuringiensis. Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. Sir, bacteria means prokaryotic or eukaryotic? Prokaryotic, right? Prokaryotic. Bacteria, it's prokaryotic. Yes or no? Right? Sir, certain strains of Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. We are not speaking about right. We are not speaking about all strains of Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. Certain strains. Certain strains of Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria, they contains Bt genes. What they contains, sir? They contains Bt genes. Which genes, sir? Bt genes. Sir, these Bt genes are also called as Cry genes. Bt genes are also called as what, sir? Cry genes. Bt genes are also called as Cry genes. Is this statement okay? Now this statement is very important. Listen carefully. Sir, you take any Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. It contains genes. Contains what, sir? Genes. We are taking Bt genes or Cry genes from certain strains of Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. What is the use of this Bt genes or Cry genes means they produces these Bt genes or Cry genes, they produces crystal proteins. They produces which proteins, sir? Crystal proteins. Sir, when this genes produces crystal proteins, sir, in a particular phase of its growth, it means during a specific period of growth, this Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria, right, is producing which proteins, sir? Crystal proteins. Which proteins, sir? Crystal proteins. Crystal proteins. See the statement carefully, sir. In a particular phase of growth. In a particular phase of growth. For example, take flowering plants. Which plants, sir? Flowering plants. Throughout the life of a plant, a flowering plant won't produce flowers. First, the plant will be in vegetative phase, then enters into reproductive phase. A angiospermic plant, after entering into reproductive phase, it starts producing flowers. Similarly, certain strains of Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria, right, produces crystal proteins in a particular phase of its growth. Sir, what is that particular phase, sir? During sporulation process. Is it okay? Clear, sir? Right? Therefore, during which process, sir? During sporulation process. During sporulation process. During sporulation process, there is a in a particular phase of its growth. Whose growth? Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria growth. Therefore, Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria is not producing these crystal proteins throughout its lifespan. Is this crystal proteins produced by bacteria throughout its lifespan? No. It is producing, Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria is producing these crystal proteins in a particular phase of its growth. That too, during which process? Sporulation process. Sir, which proteins are produced, sir? Crystal proteins. Sir, protein means it should be produced from a gene. Yes or no? What is that gene called as? Bt gene. Sir, why Bt gene is called as Cry gene, sir? Because it is producing crystal proteins. As this gene is producing crystal proteins, this gene was named as which gene, sir? Cry gene. Is this statement okay? Right. Therefore, sir, which proteins, sir? These are crystal proteins. These are which proteins, sir? Crystal proteins. These are crystal proteins. Sir, who produced these crystal proteins, sir? Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. Yes or no? Right? Inside the bacteria, these crystal proteins are inactive. Why, sir? Why they are inactive, sir? Because they are produced in an inactive form. Are they produced in active form inside the bacteria? No. They are produced inside the bacteria in inactive form. What is that inactive form, sir? Protoxin. What it is called as a protoxin. Therefore, inside what, sir? Bacteria. Where inside a bacteria? Inside a bacteria, what? Crystal protein. Crystal protein is in inactive form. Is in which form, sir? Inactive form. What is that inactive form named as? That is protoxin. What is the name of that inactive form, sir? Protoxin. Now you tell me, sir, inside the bacteria, right, it is in which form, sir? Inactive form. What is that inactive form called as a protoxin? As it is in inactive form, it won't damage the bacteria. So, right, is it harmful to bacteria? No. So, not harmful to bacteria. Is it harmful to bacteria? No, it is not harmful to bacteria because it is produced in inactive form, that is in the form of protoxin. Is this statement okay? Now listen here. Once this protoxin enters into midgut of insect, midgut, into the midgut of insect, due to alkaline pH that is present inside the midgut of the insect, right, this inactive form becomes active. It means protoxin becomes what, sir? Toxin. Who becomes toxin? Protoxin becomes toxin when once it enters into the midgut of the insect. Why? Due to alkaline pH in the midgut of the insect. Is this statement okay? Right? Therefore, once what? Once protoxin enters where, sir? Enters midgut of insect. Midgut of insect due to what? Alkaline pH of midgut. Sir, alkaline pH means acidic or basic? Basic. Basic means pH should be how much? More than 7. pH should be more than 7, right? Therefore, once protoxin enters midgut of insect due to alkaline pH of what, sir? Midgut, what happens? Due to alkaline pH of midgut, protoxin changes into toxin. Protoxin changes to what, sir? Toxin. Protoxin changes into toxin. Sir, how a protoxin changes into toxin, sir? Actually, in the midgut of the insect, where pH is alkaline, proteases, what is the enzyme name? Proteases, proteolytic enzymes. They breaks this protoxin into fragments. Breaks the protoxin into fragments. It means now the length has reduced. That reduced right fragments now acts as a toxin. Is this statement okay? For example, if this is protoxin, sir, this is protoxin. Proteases, that is proteolytic enzymes, they cleaved this right. They cleaved what, sir? They cleaved this protoxin. When this protoxin was cleaved, it has broken into many fragments. Yes or no? Right. Compared to the length of protoxin, now the length of each fragment is more or less. Now each one acts as a toxin, I am saying. Is this statement okay? Right. Therefore, now protoxin has changed into what, sir? Toxin. Protoxin has changed into what, sir? Toxin, due to which pH? Alkaline pH in the midgut. Is it okay? Once protoxin changes into what, sir? Toxin. This toxin goes and binds to the epithelial cells of the midgut. What binds? Toxin binds to what? Epithelial cells of the midgut. Therefore, who binds a toxin? Toxin binds to which cells, sir? Epithelial cells. Toxin binds to epithelial cells of a what? Midgut. Once this toxin binds to epithelial cells of the midgut, this epithelial cells swells, bulges, and they are lysed. As these cells are bulged and lysed, it leads to death of the insect. Leads to death of the insect. Leads to what, sir? Death of the insect. Leads to death of the insect. Is this statement okay? Right? Therefore, toxin binds to what, sir? Epithelial cells of the midgut. Toxin binds to epithelial cells of the midgut. Then what happens, sir? Right? Epithelial cells. Epithelial cells. These epithelial cells of midgut, what happens? Swells. Then lysed. As these epithelial cells are bulged and finally they are lysed, leads to what's death of the insect. Leads to insect death. Leads to what's insect death. Leads to insect death. Is this concept clear? Okay. This concept is very, very important. Listen carefully. Sir, Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. Bacteria, a prokaryotic organism. Is it okay? Right. Sir, this bacteria is having Bt genes or crygenes. Having Bt genes or what, sir? Crygenes. Is it okay? Right. Certain strains of Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria, in a particular phase of their growth, that is during sporulation process, this bacteria produces crystal proteins. Do these crystal proteins produced by all strains of Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria? No. Is this crystal protein produced throughout the lifespan of Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria? No. Only certain strains of Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria, that too in a particular phase of their growth, that is during sporulation process, they produces crystal proteins. But as these crystal proteins are inactive, that is, as they are produced as a protoxin, they won't harm the bacteria in which they are produced. They are produced by bacteria. They are produced inside the bacteria. Yes or no? Therefore, these crystal proteins are not harming the bacteria as they are inactive in the bacteria, as they are inactive inside the bacteria, as they are in the form of protoxin inside the bacteria. Once this protoxin enters into the midgut of the insect, due to alkaline pH in the midgut of the insect, what happens? Proteases breaks this protoxin into fragments. Into what, sir? Fragments. These fragments acts as toxin. Therefore, protoxin changed to toxin. Is it okay? Where, sir? In the midgut of the insect. In the midgut of the insect. Is it okay? Where, sir? In the midgut of the insect. Due to which pH, sir? Alkaline pH. Once it becomes toxin, the toxin goes and binds to which cells? Epithelial cells of the midgut. As this toxin binds to epithelial cells of the midgut, that epithelial cells are bulged and finally lysed. As these cells are lysed, it leads to death of the insect. Leads to what, sir? Death of the insect. Leads to death of the insect. Is it okay? It means these crystal proteins produced by certain strains of Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria has which property? Insecticidal property. Has which property? Insecticidal property. Is it okay? Having which property, sir? Insecticidal property. Sir, can I call this right crystal protein as a Bt toxin? Yes. Which toxin is? Bt toxin. Bt toxin. Is it okay? Right? Therefore, which toxin, sir? That is a Bt toxin. Bt toxin. Sir, this Bt toxin is produced by Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. Yes or no? Produced by Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. Produced by Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. Okay. Sir, this Bt toxin is having which property? Insecticidal property. Sir, insecticidal means ability to kill insects. Kills what, sir? Insects. Kills insects. Yes or no? Kills what, sir? Insects. Sir, insects means comes under phyla Arthropoda. Comes under phyla Arthropoda. Comes under phyla what, sir? Arthropoda. Yes or no? Arthropoda is a invertebrate phyla. Arthropoda is a invertebrate phyla of Animalia. Animals. Yes or no? Animals means prokaryotic or eukaryotic, sir? Eukaryotic. Sir, this toxin is produced from bacteria, a prokaryotic organism. Acting on insects, killing insects, it means acts on a eukaryotic organism. Yes or no? Sir, this Bt toxin, it is an intracellular protein. It is intracellular protein. Intracellular, produced inside the cell. Intracellular protein. Intracellular protein. So, can we call it as endotoxin? Yes, it is what, sir? It is a endotoxin. It is endotoxin because endo stands for inside. Is it okay? Right? And this Bt toxin, it is biodegradable. What it is, sir? It is biodegradable. Is it okay? Right? Therefore, sir, Bt toxin is produced by Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria. It is having insecticidal property, ability to kill insects. It is a intracellular protein, that is endotoxin, and it is what, sir? Biodegradable. What it is? Biodegradable. It is biodegradable. Is the statements clear? Okay, right? Sir, we are discussing about what, sir? Bt cotton, right? Now listen here. Sir, this Bt toxin, it is insecticidal. What it is, sir? Insecticidal. Insecticidal means has ability to kill what, sir? Insects. Which insects, sir? Number 1, Lepidopterans. Lepidopterans. Number 2, Coleopterans. Number 3, Dipterans. What's a Lepidopterans, Coleopterans, Dipterans? Easy to remember, LCD, right? Sir, Lepidopterans, example, tobacco budworm, tobacco budworm, armyworm. These two comes under Lepidopterans, right? Coleopterans, example, beetles, beetles. Dipterans, example, flies, and mosquitoes. What and what, sir? Flies and mosquitoes. Is it okay? Right? Therefore, sir, Bt toxin, it's insecticidal, has ability to kill insects. Sir, kills which insects, sir? Has ability to kill insects belonging to groups Lepidopterans, Coleopterans, and what, sir? Dipterans. Is it okay? Now listen to the statement. After development of genetic engineering process, scientists they isolated this Bt gene, isolated what? BC gene from their Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria and inserted this Bt gene into a plant. Inserted these Bt genes into the plants. When after development of genetic engineering process, scientists they isolated what's a Bt gene from Bacillus thuringiensis bacteria, and this Bt gene was introduced into the plant. Such plants are called as which plants? Bt plants. What are such plants called as a Bt plants? They are transgenic plants. Bt cotton is a transgenic plant. It is a Bt plant. Is these statements okay? Clear? Now listen this statement. Sir, which gene we are discussing about? Bt gene or cry gene. Yes sir. Sir, there are different types of Bt genes, different types of cry genes. What Bt gene or what cry gene should be inserted into a plant? Depends on what, sir? It depends on number 1, depends on the plant into which we are inserting the desired gene. Number 2, target pest. It means which pest is targeted. Which pest is targeted. Therefore, Bt gene or cry gene to be inserted. To be inserted depends. Depends on what, sir? Depends on number 1, host plant into which the gene is inserted. Next, number 2, pest that is targeted. Is it okay? Pest that is targeted, as well as the host plant into which the right Bt gene or cry gene is inserted.